Have you ever wondered what happened after the sun disappeared? Before electricity? Before streetlights? Before phones? Before even candles were common? Think about it. For almost all of human history, night wasn't just dark. It was truly dark. So what did ancient people actually do once the sun went down? Did they just go to sleep? Did they stay awake? Were they afraid? Or did they experience the night in a way that's almost impossible for us to imagine? The answer is far stranger than most people realize. Because if you traveled back just 1,000 years, your biggest shock wouldn't be the clothes, the buildings, or the food. It would be the night. Today, darkness is something we almost never experience. Cities glow 24 hours a day. Even in small towns, streetlights, TVs, and phone screens chase away the dark. But thousands of years ago, sunset changed everything. The moment the sun dipped below the horizon, the world transformed. Roads became dangerous. Forests became terrifying. The temperature dropped. Strange sounds echoed through the darkness. Predators became active. And human beings changed their behavior completely. Imagine hearing wolves in the distance, owls calling from invisible trees, branches snapping somewhere you couldn't see. Every sound mattered because you couldn't simply flip a switch and flood the area with light. For ancient people, darkness wasn't empty. It was alive. This is why nearly every civilization created stories about creatures that only appeared after sunset. Some believed spirits wandered the roads. Others feared demons hiding in forests. Many cultures warned children never to whistle at night because it might attract something or someone listening in the darkness. Whether those stories were true didn't really matter. The fear was real. And fear changes how people behave. So when night arrived, most families gathered together, not because they had nowhere else to go, because staying together increased survival. One small fire became the center of everything. People cooked, they repaired tools. Parents taught children, elders shared stories, neighbors talked. The darkness outside pushed everyone closer together inside. In a strange way, the night helped build communities. But here's where things become even more interesting. Many ancient people didn't actually sleep the way we do. Today, we're taught that healthy sleep means one long block of 7 or 8 hours. But historical records suggest that for centuries, many people practiced something completely different. It was called segmented sleep. Instead of sleeping through the entire night, people often slept for about 4 hours. Then they naturally woke up, not because of an alarm, not because of stress. Their bodies simply woke. For an hour or two, they stayed awake. They prayed, read by candlelight if they could afford it, talked quietly, checked on animals, sometimes visited neighbors. Some even believed this peaceful middle-of-the-night period was the perfect time for deep thinking because the world was silent. Then they returned to bed for another 4 hours. Surprisingly, historians have found references to a first sleep and a second sleep across Europe, the Middle East, and other regions. It wasn't considered unusual. It was normal. Think about that. What if waking up in the middle of the night isn't always a modern problem? What if our ancestors expected it? But that's only one mystery. The sky itself looked completely different. Have you ever truly seen the Milky Way? Not a picture, the real thing. Most people today haven't. Light pollution hides it. Ancient humans looked up and saw thousands upon thousands of stars stretching across the entire sky. The night wasn't empty. It was overflowing with light. Many civilizations navigated using stars. Farmers tracked seasons through constellations. Sailors crossed oceans guided only by the heavens. The stars weren't decoration. They were calendars, maps, stories, and sometimes gods. Imagine growing up seeing that every single night. It's no wonder ancient cultures became obsessed with astronomy. The sky was impossible to ignore. But while some people admired the stars, others worked. Not everyone slept after sunset. Night guards protected villages. Hunters tracked nocturnal animals. Fishermen often preferred nighttime because certain fish came closer to the surface. Bakers in many towns began working before dawn so fresh bread would be ready by morning. Blacksmiths occasionally worked late because the cooler air made intense heat slightly easier to endure. The night had its own economy, its own rhythm, its own workers. Still, traveling after dark remained incredibly dangerous. Without flashlights, even familiar roads became confusing. A single wrong turn could leave someone lost for hours. Bandits understood this. So did wild animals. Many inns existed simply because travelers refused to continue after sunset. The safest decision was often to stop, wait, and continue after sunrise. This completely changed how people planned their lives. Distance wasn't measured only in miles. It was measured by daylight. Now, here's something even stranger. Ancient nights were much louder than ours. That sounds impossible, but think about it. There were no cars, no airplanes, no air conditioners, no highways, no constant electrical hum. When civilization falls silent, nature becomes deafening. Insects, frog, wind, flowing rivers, birds, animals moving through grass. Every tiny sound stood out. People developed extraordinary hearing because they depended on it. One unfamiliar noise could mean danger. Your ears became your early warning system. Modern humans often drowned silence with music or podcasts. Ancient people listened because listening could save their lives. Then there was fire. Today we barely notice it, but for thousands of years, fire was almost magical. It gave warmth, cooked food, protected against predators, created light, and gathered people together. Watching flames dance for hours wasn't boring. It was entertainment. It was comfort. It was survival. Scientists even suggest that staring into fire may naturally relax the human brain. Maybe that's why campfires still feel strangely peaceful today. Perhaps our minds remember something our modern lives have forgotten. But not everyone experienced the night the same way. Kings held lavish feasts that lasted until dawn. Musicians played. Poets performed. Dancers entertained crowds beneath torchlight. Meanwhile, farmers often ended their day soon after sunset because every hour of daylight was precious. The night revealed social differences just as much as the day. Wealth could buy candles, oil lamps, guards, comfort. For everyone else, darkness arrived much earlier. Religion also transformed the night. Many ceremonies happened after sunset. Some believed darkness brought them closer to the divine. Others believed evil grew stronger after dark, making nighttime prayers even more important. Across cultures, midnight became a mysterious boundary between the ordinary and the supernatural. Whether people worshipped, meditated, or feared the unseen, night always carried meaning. Now think about one final question. When was the last time you experienced complete darkness? Not dim lighting, not a bedroom with phone notifications. Complete darkness. For most of us, never. Our ancestors lived with something we've almost erased, real night. And that changes the human mind. Research today suggests artificial light affects our sleep, hormones, mood, and even how we think. The invention of electric lighting extended our days, but perhaps it also disconnected us from an ancient rhythm that shaped humanity for thousands of years. Maybe that's why standing beneath a sky full of stars still feels strangely emotional. Maybe that's why sitting beside a campfire feels timeless. Maybe somewhere deep inside us, our brains still remember what nights used to be. The next time you step outside after sunset, pause for a moment. Turn off every light if you safely can. Look up, listen carefully. Imagine there are no cities, no electricity, no glowing screens, only stars stretching endlessly above you, and the unknown waiting beyond the edge of the firelight, because for almost every human who ever lived, that wasn't imagination. That was simply another ordinary night.